Hello, my name's Kevin Flanagan. I'm the head teacher at Pensby High School. It's my 7th year at the school. I came here when there were 2 schools, a boys and a girls school. There's been an awful lot of changes in those 7 years, but perhaps none more so than the last 6 months. So I'd like to start with an apology for the fact that we can't have you on site and we can't talk to you in the normal way and we can't answer your questions in the normal way. Unfortunately, events have overtaken us and we're doing it in this process, but we will get back to where we were, I promise you. Pensby's it's a funny school for me because I live literally round the corner. And having never been on the Wirral before, when I moved here, I moved round the corner from the school. At the time, I was one of Her Majesty's Inspectors for Education, and I inspected schools in London after working down there for about 17 years in schools. So it was quite different for me to come back to come to the Wirral and then see the Wirral and then experience that change of children go through primary school into secondary school and taking over a secondary school around the corner from me. We have become quite a successful school in terms of outcomes, in terms of progress, in terms of academic outcomes themselves, and we're quite proud of that, but that's not really the thing we're most proud of. We pride ourselves on how we treat your children and how we have relationships in the school. We look to think of your children as just children, really, truthfully just children, and we treat them as well as we treat our own. We try to treat them like we try and treat our own children. Sometimes we disagree and sometimes we fall out. Sometimes we put our arms around people when they're crying, and sometimes we lift them up. And we try to run it the way we run our families. That's led to the increase in GCSEs. It's not been about the GCSEs, it's not been about the exams, it's been about taking children for being children and the importance of letting them live their lives, supported by others, and they're central to what we do. We have a staff here that largely live within the community itself. Many of them have sent their children here or came here as children themselves. And that allows us to have a really close link into families. We have staff who've worked here for 35 years and know the families. We have pastoral staff whose children went to school with your children, who now have their grandchildren with your children. And they're all part of our family and our school. We do have some quite old-fashioned values, and we do try to think about things like respect. And our ethos and culture is about mutual respect, about us being able to say thank you to children and children saying thank you to us. We hold the door open for children and they hold the door open for us. We do have some strict values around what we expect in terms of behaviour. We want our children to grow up and feel they have a place in society where they know how to behave in different given circumstances. We also put a lot of pride on what we say to them about how they move forward. Everyone gets things wrong from time to time. Everyone goes wrong. Our job is to pick those things up and make them better, along with you. Teaching is really important here. We spend an awful lot of time, money and effort in developing the quality of teaching and learning. But that's really about trying to say to people how important it is that children learn rather than how important it is that teaching takes place. We focus on the outcomes for children, not because they're about GCSEs, but because every child has the right to learn. And we believe fully that a curriculum based in kind of key concepts around old-fashioned values around English, maths, science is the most important thing for our children. We steered away from a lot of vocational courses, not because I don't believe in vocational courses, but because we want the same education in the school that we want for our children. Your kids will come here and we will look after them and treat them like they're our own. And I promise you, we will do our best by them. Things are not always perfect in this school, they're not, but we know that and we understand it and we seek to make things better. And we will listen to you and we'll listen to our children and we'll listen to what we believe in. We run the school with a great deal of moral purpose. We try to make sure that we teach children about good and bad, right and wrong, about how, if we all work together, we move forward together far more successfully. We work on the basis that as a community, we are stronger, as a group, we are stronger, and no one person has more value than anybody else, including me. It'd be lovely to see you all. It'd be lovely to see you all at an open evening or an open day as soon as we can get them back. But until then, if you've got any questions, please ask, please email them in. We will try our best to answer them. We will do our best by your children, do our best by our community, and we'll make sure that everyone moves forward together. Thank you.